Hi, I'm Dr. Chan Larson. Welcome back to the beach. So we can finally put a controversy to rest, and that is, are eggs good for you or are eggs bad for you? So I've been recommending eggs to my patients for a very long time. Unless they have like food sensitivity or food allergy to them, then you can't consume them if you have like an immune reaction to eggs, obviously. But for the rest of us who don't have an immune reaction to eggs, are they good for you or are they bad for you? There were smaller studies that gave enough information to me to have no problem recommending eggs. There are some smaller studies that indicated, that eggs don't cause cardiovascular disease and cholesterol to go up and all that kind of stuff. But the study that just came out recently, that just published in a journal called the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, really puts this controversy absolutely to rest. It's a very, very robust study, and here's what it is in a nutshell. They evaluated over 146,000 people from 6 different continents, over 50 countries, and the conclusion is this: that moderate intake of eggs, which is typically about 7 eggs per week. Moderate intake of eggs have no increased risk factor for cardiovascular disease. They have no increased risk factor for elevating your cholesterol or even components of your cholesterol. No risk factor for cardiovascular disease whatsoever from consuming that amount of eggs per week. But what if you already have cardiovascular disease? If you have cardiovascular disease, does it increase your risk of worsening of your cardiovascular disease or diabetes? And the answer is no, it doesn't. It has no effect. Even if you already have a cardiovascular disease diagnosed, eating an egg a day, 7 eggs per week, have no increased risk for that condition. So this is a very robust study. It was a study that was done out of McMaster University, premier university, very well done study. Basically what they did is they combined 3 major studies, and that's how they're able to look at the data from these 3 studies that led to evaluating 146,000 subjects, 6 continents, over 50 countries. And so that's about as robust studies go, looking at this kind of thing. And so like I said, even if you have cardiovascular disease or diabetes or even other risk factors for these conditions, you can go ahead and eat your eggs. Eat your eggs, it's no problem. The old school, and for some reason there's still this thought that a lot of people have, even medical providers unfortunately, that hey, if you have high cholesterol, you better get those eggs out of your diet. No, that's not true. That's old information. It's information that wasn't based on really any good clinical and scientific data. What the data says now clearly and loudly is that you can go ahead and consume your eggs, and it's not going to increase your risk factor for cardiovascular disease. So I really hope that people, including other medical providers, get this information and realize that you can consume eggs. That, hey, does eggs have cholesterol in it? Eggs have cholesterol in it, but the cholesterol that's in eggs gets used right away. It does not get stored in your blood vessels as cholesterol. This is what these studies show. It does not increase your blood levels of cholesterol or even any other components of cholesterol or any other risk factors of cardiovascular disease whatsoever. So I'm very keen to recommend things that help to decrease a person's risk factor for cardiovascular disease, and I'd say even more broadly, metabolic syndrome. And if eggs were a culprit, I would be happy to report that information to you. But what the latest research clearly shows is that eggs are your friend. Keep it at that moderate dose. Higher doses, higher amounts of eggs, we just don't have the answer to that. But 7 eggs a week, an egg a day, is not a problem at all. Does not increase these cardiovascular disease risk factors. So enjoy your eggs. But again, if you have an egg allergy or some kind of food sensitivity to eggs, I'm sorry, unfortunately, you probably should still discontinue and not eat the eggs. But for everybody else that don't have an immune reaction to it, enjoy your eggs. I'll keep reading the studies and bringing you the information. Until then, keep it real.